happening, babies? Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back. How are you guys doing today? Good morning. Just woke up. Luckily prepared everything. So we're ready to rock and roll. Ready to rock and roll. We have our levels. Looking forward to talk about the markets. Yeah. There we go. All right, what's happening, my friends? How are you guys doing today? Welcome back. Good to see you all. Let's see what we have with us in the chat today, and then we'll get the party. Started. We have what we want, and that is everything we need right now. We have our Goldie coming back down. What's going on? After we took out those highs, gold is back at those lows right now at the moment. So let's talk about this. I'm looking forward to that. Let's see who we have with us in the chat. Give me 1 second. Let me check. Yes. All right. Let's see. Albert, good morning, my friend. How you doing, man? How are you doing? Good to see you. Yes. Gold lovers, what's up? Big Danny. Yes. Sayan, what's happening, my friend? Good to see you. How you doing, my man? No name. Where are you from? From the Netherlands. Good morning from Australia. Good to see you, Bradley. Kobe. Yes. Welcome back, Skinny D. Good morning, my friend. Or good afternoon. Good evening for you, I would say. Good evening for yourself. Study. Lorenzo, yesterday your buy limit entry at 4031 on GC hit 2 hours later, and I was laughing, and it went nicely from there. Yes, exactly. It was a good trade. Good morning. Hola from Minneapolis. Good to see you. All right. Anyways, guys, welcome back. Good to see you all. We have a lot of things to cover because gold has been coming down a little bit, right? And we have to talk about the situation with gold right now at the moment. Where are we at? We are still above the opening price of the week, but we are below a couple of really critical key levels right now after taking out those previous highs. So we have to talk about what's next, because it seems that we might have to see a little bit of a pullback further, deeper, maybe, potentially. We'll talk about this in a second here, all right? Hope you guys are all doing well. Fantastic to have you here. And yeah, man, let's get the party started, right? Very nice. Amazing. Welcome back, my friends. How are you guys doing today? Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome back to another Asian session. If you guys could help your boy out by smashing up that like button, that we highly appreciate it. Okay. Thank you very much for doing that. You help the channel grow as well here. And also, this is only my fourth, I think, Asian session ever. So we're back now doing the Asian sessions for a while in combination with some New York in the meantime, but mainly Asia right now at the moment. And that's been actually very fun, very enjoying, to be honest. Really nice. So yeah, really like it so far. Let's keep pushing and let's keep, showing up consistently every single day. Okay. And we go from there here. Yesterday's trade. Yes. Actually, we are back at that same zone again now. Have you guys noticed that, by the way? We actually are bouncing from that same zone right now at the moment again. We talked about that zone yesterday. And we're back at that same zone, pretty much, right? Back at that same exact level. It's holding that support again, right around there. We talked about this in yesterday's stream. And clearly what we talked about was this, all right? The fact that we had our area right there, which is obviously our zone. I think this was discussed on the stream, right? We had our buy limit set at 43.11. on MetaTrader 5, and I had it set on 43.31 on futures. And you can see that it played out very well, actually, very nicely. Very nicely. Made a nice amount of money on that trade right there. Okay, so push back into it, and it started to skyrocket around 450 pips to the upside. Move, beautiful, freaking clean move. So this is, in my opinion, a major eye-opener for myself as well. Because it just shows us that we have to just be very patient for some setups to play out, especially when it's around the Asian sessions sometimes. And then built around that region, right? You can actually see very clearly that it was actually worth being patient, waiting for the right setup in the market. Let price come back to our zone, the zone that we want to see. And then from there actually take action and then actually act like some sort of sniper. Okay, so that was worth it. Paying attention to that level, being patiently waiting for the price to get there, and then boom, nice follow through of that setup here. So if you took that trade, congratulations. If you actually understood why we took the trade even better, right? That is the main incentive of why we're here on the stream. But one thing is for sure that I realized, and that is that I need to find a way to contact you guys after the stream. Because if I'm streaming and I set up my buy limit, for example, from yesterday's stream, right? And after that, I don't really know, like, what's going on, like, or something changes, or like something, right? Anything in terms of the updates. I can't really contact you because I don't have any other platform right now. I don't have any other Discord. I don't have any, besides my elite, but that's a different story. So I decided to just create a free Telegram group. Okay. I literally created it just now, okay? I just created it literally last night before I went to bed. And you guys can join it. It helps you with understanding what I will do after the stream as well, when I set my limit orders, things like that, keep you guys in the loop for the stream trades pretty much. And just making sure that I find another way to contact you, to update you in regards to those trades, okay? Because yesterday was a great example of how the trade played out perfectly, where it pulled back into this and we shoot up for the rest of the day, all the way until the closure, until we start coming down. But yeah, that is a good reason. Okay, so we put in a Telegram group for free, no strings attached, nothing. It's just for these updates. I think it's actually kind of important to have that as well if you watch the streams regularly, that I find a new way to contact you right there, okay? That is just the best way to say it. I think there's nothing else that we need right around that rate, okay? A nice Telegram group for stuff. At the same time, I can also put in some short videos as well, some educational content too. So for example, things that I don't explain on the stream, I can put also inside of the Telegram group as well, right? Some quick 5-minute videos, explaining how the point of control works, or how the volume profile works, or how the settings are, whatever the case may be, right? All of these different layers, we'll just put it in there as well. And I think that is what is going to make the difference right around there. All right. Anyways, enough with that. Enough with the yapping. Let's get back to the actual work again for today. Anyways, interesting stuff around gold right now. Because of the fact that, yesterday's trade was perfect. We waited for the pullback and we came up. We came up a lot. We came up around 700 pips, man. That's a 700 pip move to the upside. That was crazy. But anyways, right now we are at a stage where, as you guys can see already, we took out those previous highs, okay? We took out those highs and we pulled back immediately. So after taking out those highs right here, you guys can see that probably. Let me see if I can make it a bit clear for you. We took out those highs on gold right there. We tapped into that resistance right around there. And we got rejected, okay? We got rejected and we came back down. As a matter of fact, we actually created a supply zone right here on the 4-hour again. So we tapped in, we swept those highs. And now we created a supply zone. Okay, so it seems to me that we are actually getting rejected here, rather than we're just looking for a higher low continuation play right now at the moment. It starts looking to me a little bit weaker and not as stronger. Okay, I think gold had amazing impulse to the upside. It went for those highs. It took out those highs. We targeted those highs, and now it's starting to slow down. Okay. So that is kind of important, in my opinion, to pay attention to for gold. So we're going to go a bit deeper into the breakdown around gold as well. The dollar, as you guys can see, is also still holding above this major zone. It's still holding above that range breakout pretty much, right? That retest is kind of here. So the dollar is still in a very tricky area right now. It's still holding up really, really well, even though we're looking not that strong. We're still holding up really well around what we can kind of see there right now on gold right here, right? So overall, I think we have to pay attention to a couple of those things right now. A little bit of a weaker gold. So I'm actually more bearish today than bullish today. I'll show you another reason why. So for example, if we go to the 15-minute time frame, right? This is the 15-minute time frame. We have something that we call, right, the famous fixed range volume profile right there. So we click on the fixed range volume profile. And we mark it out over the full trading week. So for example, this thing that you see here, this indicator I created, is a free indicator, right? The session breaks in New York Stock Exchange open. You can kind of see the open and close of each week, each trading week. And this is pretty much the whole week, all right? The whole trading week right now. So we have to just mark this out. You can see this is pretty much the whole trading week right here from previous week, okay? Now, this is, of course, the Monday right there. Okay, this is then the Tuesday, right? The Wednesday, the Thursday, and then the Friday, right? So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So you can kind of see how the market has been distributing this week here. So what we do, instead of looking at the individual days right now, we can still see that we're operating inside of the previous weekly range, right? Why? Because we kind of came out of it for a split of a second, but then around here, right, we got rejected right there, and we pulled back into it. So we actually took out the previous weekly highs, and then we came back into the range of the previous week as well here, right? So we can kind of see this right now, that we're actually back inside of the previous weekly range, and that is usually actually not something that you want to see, because once you break out of the previous week, you prefer to hold support here. So for example, you have the value area high right around here, okay? The previous weekly value high, let's mark it out. And we have the previous weekly point of control, that is the red line, okay? The previous weekly point of control, which is actually the red line right there, okay? So if you mark those two out, then you can actually see right here that we are now operating below both levels. Do you see that? Below the point of control of the previous week, the area where the most volume has been traded, and the value high after taking out those highs right around there, right? Right there. Now pulling back into that range, into the lower levels right there. So in my opinion, it's not really looking super duper strong. The fact that we kind of broke back, how can I say that, above that, okay, or below that, below both levels actually. Oh, that makes sense. So in my opinion, it looks a bit more weaker and not stronger, actually. The fact that we broke back below those levels is actually a sign that we have to be a bit cautious right now, because it could be just a manipulation event where we took out the highs of the previous week and that we're now breaking back down again. And we're going to go maybe what? Towards the gap, right? Something like that. We have that huge gap sitting there, still below It has been unmitigated, so it could be that we will trade towards the gap a bit deeper. Maybe then try for another run or something like that. But for now, I think that we are a bit overextended. According to yesterday's price action, we had like 1,000 pips, I think, from the bottom to the top. So it was a pretty big move yesterday. And that, of course, includes or excludes the gap, opening gap as well. So anyways, a lot of resistance right now, I think that we have to be aware of. And for that reason, I think that we have to kind of look for the pullbacks for sells. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. Okay, I would love to see here what your opinion around this right now. But I think that the fact that we're back inside of this range, after pushing out, taking out the highs, breaking structure as well, not really a good look. It's not really a good look right now for gold, if I'm looking at it from this perspective, okay? Now, the dollar, on the other hand, is not looking that weak. It's not looking super weak, right? We are kind of seeing that, that breakthrough moment now, where the dollar is kind of holding up. It's not really strong either, but it's also definitely not weak, right? We just broke back above this major support right there, okay? This is that major level that we tapped into. We had a closure below at first. We got rejected, and then look at this candle right here. That candle just broke and closed back above it. Do you see that? That the candle broke back above it, it closed back above this. And now you can actually see that we are back trading above that resistance again. So the dollar came down. It looked very weak. It was ready to come down further, but it reclaimed that level. And it's now holding above this again. Okay? So overall, I think that these are levels that we have to pay attention to right now at the moment. Looking at Goldie. And giving it a little bit of time to see, okay, to where can we then retrace to, right? And then pretty much go from there, okay? To where can we trace to? Now, we have a couple of levels that we have to look at. In my opinion, we take the swing high to the swing low. You can see that we're now getting rejected at the point of control already, right? This is already a level where we're facing a little bit more, how can I say that? More weakness at this current moment right now as well here. Okay, I think we have still a little bit more upside potential. So we're not going to rush it. But I think that we will be looking for shorts today according to what we are currently seeing in the market. Also knowing that we are still below the previous weekly point of control as well here. And I think that these are just the levels that we have to watch very, very closely and steadily in order to see how price reacts at those levels. And then we'll see from there. Okay? Yes. Tabo Patrick says, after a long time, my G, thanks for the trading war map, volume 1 and 2. I am now profitable after 2 years of trading. Wow, congratulations. 2 years is still quick. So that's good, man. For the others, if you want to learn about what I just explained, the volume profile and the previous weekly, for example, then you have to go to this one right here, the weekly volume profile. Number 36, page number 36, right around here. And you can actually see how this works and why this is so, effective, etc., 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 etc. The value area high, the value area low, and then of course the point of control and why this is the most important area to work, to play, to focus on when you're trading. Okay, so you can actually learn about this in my book as well if you want to learn about the volume profile and things like that. It's all free education that we created for you, so you have a bit more understanding when you stream with us of what we're talking about. What is this guy yapping about the volume profile, etc., 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 etc. Okay. Anyways, let's do it. Let's make it happen here. So what are some levels that I'm watching? Well, there is a level that I'm watching very, very closely right now, and that is actually the previous daily. Let me see if I can find it for you guys. The previous daily point of control. So we have the level from yesterday. You see this red line here? The previous daily. That is actually that will be the ideal level in my opinion to look for shorts from if we could pull back into this area. Okay. We also have a gap below there, but that is in my opinion the level to really, really, really watch is this level. If we could get there, then that will be for me a short back down right around this area. So that will be the 4338. Yes, the 4338 will be an amazing level to look for if you could potentially tap into that level and then reject from. Okay, it's actually a zone because it's actually the whole range that we've seen right around, yeah, pretty much right around there. Okay, kind of like the range itself from, I mean, you could say somewhere around here till like the top of the range. That is actually my favorite area to sell from if we pull back to that zone. Because if we could pull back to that area, then we'll pretty much create like the pullback, the high, the low, the retracement. We reach an overvaluation against the dollar. And then we could look for maybe the continuation back down, a little bit lower towards that gap, or at least trying to see what we could do here. That will be, of course, the ultimate level to really pay attention to, in my opinion, right around there. Okay, so let's pay attention to this level, see what we have from there, and I think that sets the tone, because I think that on the higher time frame means we pretty much pull back to that 4-hour supply zone right there as well. So on the lower time frame it makes sense, and on the higher time frame it makes sense as well here. This is pretty much that 4-hour supply zone that has been created, because you can actually see right now that we have the rally here, a base, and then a major drop last night. Okay, and now the retracement of the drop. I think we're gonna find all the resistance right there, and I think that's also where the best opportunities will come from if we kind of pull back to that level. Okay. Now, what is the previous daily point of control? The previous daily point of control is actually the area where yesterday the most trades have been executed. So at the 4338, the most contracts, the most trades were actually executed right there. The most volume was traded there. Okay. And that's why that will probably turn into the major, it has the biggest chance, let's put it this way, to turn into that resistance as well. Well, that kind of makes sense from there. Okay, so that's the level I'm watching. Actually, beautiful selling zone in my opinion. Resistance, gold, 4338. Yeah. Previous daily. Definitely a zone watching today. Absolutely good zone to watch, to be careful of. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, hopefully we can get there, man. That would be amazing, actually. I think should be fine. If you have a little bit more of a retracement, then we could potentially see that resistance there at the point of control, and yeah, maybe then from there reject, right? And at least get back down again. It's gonna be a pretty big move if you could see that. Yeah. It's usually not a good look when gold pushes outside of the weekly range of the previous weekly range and then falls back within that. Not really a good look right there. You know what I mean? Yeah. What is this indicator? It's the valuation index. I gave it an upgrade. A little bit of a visual upgrade. But yeah, it's the same thing. Morning, Lorenzo. Great trade yesterday of that level we talked about, which took out the highs. Yes, it was a good retracement. It was very nice. So yeah, anyways, like I said before, if you just tuned in, I actually decided to open up a Telegram group, a free one, because I realized that when I have setups, for example, and I stream Asia, right? And let's say the setup does not always play out, because not every stream, the setup will play out on the stream, let's say, but it will play out after the stream. Then I can't really contact you, or I can't really do anything until my next stream, the day later. So I decided to create like a Telegram group for you guys, to keep you guys in the loop and update it around the breakdowns and analysis series, so you know exactly what to expect. And I can also just go over my entries and stuff, like I'm in the trade, or I'm waiting for this confirmation. You know what I mean? Anything related to the trade setup itself. And it allows me as well to do some education on the side, but most importantly, these stream updates I think are key, are important to really pay attention to right there. So I put in a link. I created it literally yesterday. It's brand new. It's free to join, and it has to do with the stream trades, etc. Okay, and the buy limits, the sell limits, the confirmations, etc., 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 etc. You get the point. Okay, so I put a link in the description, and I will drop it also in the chat. So I want to fill this up fast, and then we'll go from there. I think that's the easiest way, right? The easiest way here. Yeah. Why did you start doing the Asia session? Because the price action is super nice, super clean. Now maybe New York is going to be a little bit better when the Iran thing is over, okay? And the Strait of Hormuz, etc., now being opened, all that stuff. So we're going to stream New York too, not just Asia. Yes. Hi, brother love from India. I've been trading since 7 years now. I'm stuck in a phase where I'm not losing, but I'm also not gaining. How to overcome this? Please help me. It's my birthday today. Congratulations, man. Happy birthday. In regards to the reason why you're not winning, but you're also not losing, I mean, that's already better than 90% of most people. So congratulations on that. That's already a good accomplishment. But you need to ask yourself the question, why are you losing, number one? Why are you losing, okay? Do you follow all your rules? Yes or no? Or you don't really have a clear process, but you kind of have a strong intuition. Because a lot of people, they stream, or they trade, sorry, not stream, they trade for like 7 years. They have a strong intuition. They understand exactly how the market moves, why it moves, works with levels, but they don't have a process behind it. You're still like kind of playing upon your feelings, you know? That's one thing to answer. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're super systematic. Maybe I'm wrong, right? But if you're super systematic, then you have to ask yourself the question, why are you losing, right? Because if you are super systematic, you know exactly why. And if you're not, you don't know why. So you just need to ask yourself the question, yeah, why is the reason I am losing? And maybe you can already answer me the question. Maybe you already know why you're losing. And you just need to have the willpower to change it. Yeah. Okay, let's go and look at some order flow too. Because we have our candlestick or our analysis done, right? We talked about the previous highs, etc., etc., etc. We talked about, taking out the highs of up here. We took out those highs right there. Beautiful. We tapped into that resistance right there. After taking out those highs, it was also actually beautiful. So you can see clear that rejection at that resistance right there. It's actually very clean. But now, 4 hour supply has been created. That is not a good look for gold. The fact that gold is back inside the range is not that much of a good look either. Yeah, man. So that means that gold has done its job. Took out the highs, took out the lows now. And it's not looking that particularly strong. So I hope to see gold pulling back to the 4338. I think that is the best level to short from. But let's see if we can actually do that. But let me quickly check the order flow right now to see if there are any other levels that we have to think about as well here. Okay. Anyways, we have this zone that we were looking already at the 4 hour time frame. We talked about this on the streams yesterday, and that zone actually, maybe you guys remember it from the stream, has not been broken. Okay, that zone has not been broken yet whatsoever, as you guys can see right there. Okay, that stream has not been broken. So that level is still there. That level is still there, and it's still holding us resistance right there. That's why I think the highs were actually critical to really pay attention to. Let's look at the hourly as well here. Let's see, from the hourly we have a bit more insights as well. Let's see, anything on the hourly that we have to watch very closely. Yes, 100%. That is the VWAP. The VWAP right there. I think that's exactly our level, to be honest. That is the 53 on futures. So the 53 on futures is What is this on spot? The 53 is 41.20. So there are 21 point difference. The 53 all the way up till the 53 until the 59. There is a 21 point difference. 59 minus 21 is how much? 38. What is our entry? 4338. That is perfect, man. That is fantastic. That is exactly what we want. These trap buyers sitting there, stuck in their trade, sellers that stepped in, and the VWAP there as well. Yeah, if we can make a last final impulse, we will have the best trade of the day, in my opinion. Right there, that will be the best trade of the day. The point is we already at some resistance right now, which is right around here, right? It is actually a little bit lower. And this is the current resistance we're kind of facing here. But now that I've seen the order flow as well, I am pretty confident, to be honest, that that level is the best level. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. According to what I'm seeing on the order flow as well, by the way, because there are too many levels there, too many important levels there. And we're still holding up quite well today. It's not that we're looking really weak at the moment. So I think we still have a little bit more firepower to push higher. It doesn't look that weak to me now, looking at the lower time frame here. No, man. Yeah, no, I definitely look for the push. Let's see if we can get there. That would be amazing. Yeah. We also have some major news right today. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of that, but we have actually today, and this is going to be an interesting one, man. The Bank of Japan interest rate decision. This is happening in around an hour and a half from now. I think that's going to cause some volatility for sure on gold, on the dollar. Like 100%, we're going to see a reaction from that outcome. Okay, because this will have an impact on the dollar yen, which is of course hugely inflated, the dollar yen. So if the dollar yen will start reacting and the Japanese yen will start to go up, or it reacts stronger to that response, the dollar will probably drop a little bit, and we might see an impulse for gold as well that you have to be aware of when looking at that as well here. So we do have news in around, I believe, 1 hour and a half. So I would pay attention to that news as well today, because of the Japanese Bank of Japan. It's super important right now. The yen has been absolutely, for the people that don't know that, the yen has been absolutely crushed, okay? If you go to the dollar yen right now, and this has a major impact on gold too, by the way, all right? You go to the dollar yen, you can already see that on the daily time frame, we are at 160. If you go to the weekly time frame, right? This is the weekly time frame of the dollar yen. Ever since whatever, right? The last 5-6 years, we lost around 58% of its value. The dollar became 58% stronger against the Japanese yen. Think about that. 58%. Okay? Look at the Japanese yen futures. Look at that. Massive drop. Okay? Super weak. So what they were doing was the Bank of Japan was actually selling treasuries, US treasuries, and dumping them on the market. But because of the war in Iran and everything, the dollar had these like impulses back down, but it never really cared, okay? The currency is just getting too weak, and they're trying to make the currency stronger. This is when they're dumping treasuries. You see it quickly on the weekly and on the daily time frame, but it doesn't have any impact. The market keeps pushing higher. The dollar yen keeps becoming stronger. So now they have to look at another solution, and that is probably going to be something different. Instead of looking at the treasuries, dumping treasuries on the market, they have to now think about rate hikes, inflation, rate hikes, okay? Increasing their interest rates, and that's going to have an impact on the yen for sure. And that might have an impact on the dollar yen, and that means that the dollar might slow down a little bit. So that is something that we do have to be a little bit aware of today, okay? The Japanese yen and the intervention that's taking place. All right, hope that makes sense right there. Yeah. Yeah, we also have the previous weekly, by the way. The previous weekly is sitting right here. I am watching it super closely too, by the way. Don't get me wrong. We're watching this level as well. Okay? We're watching this level as well. I am paying a lot of attention now to this level too. Yeah, we have a level in between that we have to talk about. If we can get there, okay? At the 28th as well here. This is just, I'm just always starting with like, okay, what is the best setup of the day right now? And in my opinion, the best setup of the day right now is this area. Okay, it's the 38. That gives me the best, because the previous daily point of control, it is also a strong, you could say the retracement that we need right here. Okay, the pullback and the retracement, right? And the continuation potentially as well. It's actually very clean. And then on the 4-hour time frame, it's actually also that supply zone. Okay. So we start off with the best setup of the day, and then we can always work our way down. So for example, if we are now bearish bias because we closed below all the major levels today already, we closed below the previous daily point of control, previous weekly point of control, and a very high. So this is pretty much telling us that we swept those highs, we created new supply, and we're now bulling back down. So it's looking more bearish than bullish at the moment. And that any retracement, it could be a rejection. It could be happening here. It could also be happening there, right? But the best setup for me is going to be, of course, there. If you could get there. If you don't get there and we see the rejection here, we might have to pull the trigger already. Right? That's kind of the idea. Yeah. Why are you trading Asian session? I like the Asian session a lot. Yeah, it's very good, very clean setups. And also think about this, right? What I've noticed is that, you know what I was facing in New York session all the freaking time? Kind of like imagine this, right? Imagine that like the market is freaking bullish, okay? So for example, the market is super bullish. Yesterday, super bullish all day long, right? We were bullish, 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 pretty much all day long. But sometimes when we start trading New York, we had this huge move already, right? The big moves are already done. And then New York starts to range or consolidate, for example. Or then New York starts to reverse the big moves, right? Because it already did the move in Asia and London, for example. Right? So kind of the problem that we have with New York sometimes is that like all the big moves are already done before that. And then you have to think about, are we going to see another move, which is like the third move of the day? Or are we going to see the reversal in a bullish sentiment or a bullish environment, right? And that's always the thing with New York is that you always have to think about the manipulation and the reversals a lot more and with a lot more history. Whereas in the Asian session, the trading day is developing, it's starting, right? So you can kind of predict already for the rest of the day, are we going to be potentially bullish or bearish? And then you can anticipate on that right there. So it gives a bit of a head start, a bit of an advantage actually. So yes, it requires a bit more patience, but at the same time, the accuracy is just higher, okay? The accuracy is higher and there is less manipulation. And also keep in mind, Trump is most of the time sleeping around this time as well. Most of the time, he's sleeping right now, okay? He's laying in his golden throne right now at the moment. Yeah. A little bit of anticipation, I would say, right? A little bit of anticipation. Yeah, we're looking just already, in my opinion, a little bit too weak right now for longs. You know what I mean? It's definitely looking on the weak side right now. There's no way around it. Yeah. Selling zone 1. Maybe we'll actually have the selling zone here as well. Maybe we'll actually have the second zone here already. But let's see. We're gonna watch at level 2. But like for now, for me, right now at the moment, we will have still chance of a bit of an impulse as well. And also we have that news. You have to take that news event in consideration too later. Yes. Thank you for opening up a Telegram. Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah. Yeah, I was actually a little bit like, I'm not saying I was against it or something like that, but I'm like, you know, should I really do that? But then I realized every stream, I have something to tell after the stream, right? So let's say I stream and then I want to share something and then I cannot do that because like, you know, I don't want to send you an email with my, you know, around trading updates, etc. So Telegram just seemed like the best possible way. Okay, so I created it. I posted him the screenshot of yesterday's trade. And then I create a quick update so you know it's real, it's not a scam. And then, yeah. Anyways, you can join it for free for these stream updates as well here. Yeah. Limit orders, trade history, things like that. And maybe some education as well. So. There will be a hidden push upside sell on that stop hunt. Yeah, I still think that we could potentially still start to push up higher. I still believe that. That's why I'm not. That's why I'm patiently waiting for price to just do that, because we are still definitely getting respected here. We're actually back at that zone from yesterday, right? We're back at that zone from yesterday. Yeah, I think we're going to see a little bit of an impulse here. I think that this might actually hold support as well in the short term. So this is definitely not a short right now. Like we need to pull back at least a little bit. Yeah, we might hold support there. Yeah, if you could see something like this, that would be the best of the best. But we do have the previous weekly point of control already at the 28 instead of the 38. So we have to watch the 28 too, because that's going to be another level that's, I think, going to have some resistance as well. You just have to watch it very carefully. See which one is acting as resistance, and if the point of control of the weekly is also, yeah, a level to watch, because this is already clearly a rejection area, right? You can also see this quite clearly right now, that we also were getting rejected here many times beforehand. So we'll watch this level, we'll watch it. We'll watch it. Are you watching the World Cup? I haven't seen, man. I haven't seen the World Cup except for the Netherlands. Except for the Netherlands, I have watched that at least. Yeah. I watched the UFC though. Holy moly, man. I'm not sure if you guys are into that, but man, that was insane. That was absolutely ridiculous. The UFC at the White House. Ridiculous. Yeah, let me actually just do this analysis right now already. Stream analysis. For now, watching the 4338 at first. Not a good look from gold to take out the previous swing high and then fall back within the previous weekly range. Closing below the previous weekly high, value area high and point of control. For now, watching the 33 at first for sells. More bearish biased at the moment. Gold also created a 4-hour supply zone, and the dollar, the XY, reclosed above resistance. Watching the roundabout 50% retracement inside of the previous daily POC. For the education, read my book, read my free book. Around the volume profile. Read my free or watch out for more content on this channel. Training videos on this channel. So at the 4338. We might already see a rejection earlier, such as the 4228. But we will pay attention to this. Perfect. Anyways, yeah, just be a bit patient. I think we're also waiting for the news today. Okay, just keep that in mind. We're waiting for the Bank of Japan news as well. Okay. Decision during Asia today. Okay, let's look at the dollar real quick. Dollar as well. You can see that the problem with the dollars right now is pretty obvious. That 8-hour support is holding up. Okay, so we actually were getting rejected at it for a long period of time here. Okay, you can actually see this on the 4-hour too. We're actually getting rejected at it very, very clearly. And then eventually we decided to close back above it. Okay, so the dollar closed back above that resistance. And that is not a good look, okay, for gold. Because if that happens, the dollar was actually trying to break down. And then it failed to break down and it reclosed a strong higher time frame candle above that area right there. And that is actually not really a good look for gold. Okay, the fact that we are back above this zone. Okay, so we have to really pay attention to this as well here. And then gold, of course, as well. We have, of course, the previous weekly range, which is also not a good look for gold. The fact that we broke back below that as well here. So yeah, dollar is the main thing as well that we have to watch, you know. It's the stronger dollar is usually not a good sign for gold. Of course, we'll put more pressure on gold. And we have that opening gap, right? We have that opening gap below as well that we cannot neglect. If we talk about gold right now, this is what we have to deal with as well here. So yeah, I'm more leaning towards sales for that reason. But we need a proper retracement, right? And a nice, clean retracement. We want to have the best trades of the day, right? We don't want to just get into trades because we want to get into trades. We want to get the best trade of the day. And the beautiful thing about Asian session is if you're patient, you can get into the best trade of the day and hold that trade for the rest of the day if you want to. Yes. Okay, we're making already a little bit of pullback. That's good. All right, I'm going to post this right now, my friends. There we go. If it works. Yes. All right, beautiful. Posted in Telegram. All right. Did you mean that saying we might see an earlier rejection at the 20 and instead of the 38? Yes, exactly. So the 28 is sitting right here. We have another zone right there, and the 38 is sitting right there. So we have these two levels that we're watching closely. The 28 and the 38. The 38 is in my opinion the sweet spot, because it just aligns with all those other levels super well. We are dealing with a gap as well. There's just too many good levels. It's just too many good things happening around that level. Like too many confirmations around that level. But the 28 is a larger, higher time frame level that we cannot neglect either. Right? So we might pull back. Yeah, target could be the, you know, it could indeed be what we call the gap below. You know what I mean? Not 4228. Sorry, I meant 432. Did I say 422? 228? My bad, my bad. Okay, yeah. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Yeah. Thank you. Wow, endless rejection already. Endless rejections around this level already. But the longer it holds above here and it's not pushing down, the more I think we're going to push up eventually. It's just a matter of time. You know, we just need to calm down and maybe give a bit of an impulse right now. But it's just holding up too strong here. Too much support now. A lot of sellers stepping in, but they're not succeeding, right? They're in any way. There's also not a lot of volume. And the news, I think, is what we're waiting for, man. That's the feeling I'm having right now. I think the news is some kind of what we're waiting for from the Bank of Japan, but I could be wrong. But I would personally, honestly, if I had a chance, I would say maybe it's wise to wait for that news. And if price shoots up, then immediately take a sell, right? And not wait patiently, but have the sell limits maybe already set even. What is that indicator at the bottom? That is the stealth valuation index. I created this indicator. It measures gold against the dollar. Actually, if you look at yesterday, for example, right? This was, I think, yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. So this is on the 5 minute. I use it sometimes on the 5 and 15 minute. But what you can see is that yesterday, for example, when we were trending upwards, specifically trending upwards, we wanted to time the market, right? And the way to time the market is by waiting for what we say, what we call undervaluations as well. So undervaluation here, right? Bottom. Undervaluation, bottom before the opening gap, right here, bottom. The retracement, this was the trade that we took yesterday. Bottom. So we were undervalued, so it was the perfect alignment with our level. And then here as well, bottom, right? And then here it was the top. And then here it was the top, pretty much. And then here it was the top, right there. And then here we started to come down. We started to break structure. So then the overvaluation became more important, right? Right there. And now we are back at what we call the bottom. Okay, now we're back at the bottom almost already. See that? We're already here. So that means that we're still not, we haven't broken structure. So this is a moment where I would say I'm not shorting gold right now. Why? Because we are not able to break structure now, even though we are back at what we call the undervaluation. So we're not breaking structure. We have not broken the lows, and that is not a good look. That's not a sign of weakness anymore. That means that we're just in a range, consolidating, and that there is a bigger chance that we're going to try to push up again a little bit. So this is how we use it, predominantly to measure that exactly, right? To measure the valuation against the US dollar, okay? And it has been actually very good, very accurate. So it's similar to the RSI, but it's not the RSI because the RSI doesn't measure the dollar too. It only includes gold itself, and that's kind of an isolated indicator. It doesn't look at anything else besides the dollar, the gold chart. And what you want to do is actually want to use the dollar too, and incorporate the dollar, because gold gets heavily influenced by the dollar strength or weakness, right? So it's actually how do you say that? It is kind of like an RSI on steroids. Yeah. That's how I like to call it. Do you think we can retrace? I think it's super possible that we retrace to the 38, actually. I think it's solely possible. It might look super weak right now, but I think it has to do all with the news that's coming. Yeah, from the Bank of Japan. I think that's what everyone is waiting for a little bit right now at the moment. That. But keep in mind, we have one more zone, which is this area right here. Okay. The reason why this is a bit more tricky to short from is because of the fact that we have that gap here, that low volume node there, and in this one that low volume node will be filled, that imbalance will be filled, and then we have pretty much clean traction. So it could be that we'll find resistance here already, and we'll wait and we'll pay attention to this for sure. Yeah, so yesterday we were super bullish, and today we're more bearish. And that gap, yeah, I think it's a good target. I don't say we want to see complete gap fill, but I think we could somehow get towards the small fill of this gap, maybe around there. How much did you make on yesterday's trade? I took multiple entries. So I took an entry on futures and on spot. So I would say around $2,000 in total. Is every Asia session so slow? Not really, man. No, Asia has been moving a lot. Asia has been moving a lot, actually. I'm actually super happy with Asia because it like sets up the tone for the day, and it's actually very good. You just have to be patient with waiting for your right levels, and sometimes there are some really big moves as well. Actually, not sometimes, most of the time, actually. Most of the time. Yeah. Do you think we can go to the 4200? I don't. It's a bit low. I would not say that right away, man. Because we have already major resistance at. Oh wait, actually. I mean, maybe. Now I'm looking at it. Maybe we do have that major demand already sitting there. I mean, it could be. It could be. Yeah, it definitely could be, actually. I'm looking at it. But yeah, let's see. We have these two zones marked, so I have a darker zone, which means actually that it is not the strongest. And we have another one. So let's see if we could pull back. Hey brother, do you know Fabio? Yes. Futura says we don't have any major resistance. The previous daily POC is major resistance, I would say. Yeah. We're still above that level actually where we took our limit order from yesterday, right? Yesterday's limit order was exactly at 4311. So this is where we are right now. And we're holding that support. For now, at least. What will be the impact on gold price if the Bank of Japan will increase the interest rates today? If that happens, it might shake up the dollar a little bit. And it might cause the dollar to maybe, potentially, and this is just all speculation because you never know the reaction. But it might be that the dollar will indeed come down a little bit more. Because if the yen becomes stronger, the yen has so much debt that they had to buy so many US treasuries to keep their economy alive pretty much because their own treasury bonds are worthless. The Japanese yen treasury bonds are worthless. They're worthless. So they buy US treasury bonds. So if they start to increase their interest rates and with the intention of increasing the strength of their currency, they can just also dump a lot of treasuries on the market, US treasuries on the market. If you dump US treasuries, the US 10-year yield will drop, the bonds will rise, the yields will drop, and the dollar will drop with that. And that could then indirectly cause gold to spike. So I would watch this Bank of Japan news very soon, very closely. Is Wanda the best broker for the volume strategy? I think that for CFDs, like people say always, yeah, you cannot use a Wanda because like you cannot use a CFD volume profile because it's not good. I've been using it for years and it has been working really well. Did you go? I did go to the gym, yeah, yesterday, exactly. Thank you for asking, my friend. Went to the gym, and then I think I got filled in the trade. So I was watching the trade in the gym. That's actually not a good. That's actually not good because you're distracted. But that's the life of a trader. You go to the gym and you're in a trade and you have to watch the trade, etc., 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 etc. Any buy zone? I don't know, man. I'm not really into buys today. Not at least for now. If I had to pick one, right? And we could see the bounce, it would be this zone, which is the low volume node. We reacted for that level already. But it's not something I'm, yeah, I don't know. Let's see what happens. It could be, but I prefer sells. When did you cut yesterday's trade? I mean, I had it on futures, so different. 4375 on futures, so that's 4354. So that's 4354, so around here. And the entry was, I think, around, was 11, right? So around here. When conducting your analysis, do you start with futures or CFD? Usually with futures, with the futures chart, and then I think later on, what happens is that we can move to gold spot. The reason why we use gold spot as well on the streams now is because I did a poll, and 75% of you guys trade CFDs, which is a lot. 75% is a lot. You know what I mean? That's a lot of people trading on MT5, MT4, MT5. Or anyways, CFDs. Not necessarily MT4, MT5, but you get the point. Why wouldn't we short this? I think we're really overextended here, man. And we'll tap into a major support now, right now, actually. You will see another reaction here. Yeah, right here, right now. There we go. You see that? Boom. Flip. That's why. Bro, do you teach also in your lives all the time? Yes. Yeah, I think that's actually super important. That's why also I wrote a book, because I was like, you know what? I hate just being that guy on YouTube that just trades only and that's it, and doesn't explain anything, and it's just like showing his trades and like, but no context, no understanding of why or how he trades or whatever. And then I have to lure you into a paid whatever group to explain you, you know. Obviously there are a lot of things as well, and I do have like an elite group of a small group of people where I go really, 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 really deep. But I decided to have something for everyone, which is a book that I've written, right? And that is just already, that took me a year. That took me a year to create pretty much with my team. at the time, right? So it was a huge effort. But it's super worth it because now I don't feel that I'm just that guy that like trades on YouTube without any context. So now you have actually something to study as well. And then we can talk about that on the stream. You know what I mean? Thinking in advance, thinking in the future. How much do you charge for your small group? We're actually closed now. No, we don't accept any people. But like I said, I just created the Telegram, so I will be posting some quick videos in there. I created it today. And I just announced it for the first time on this stream. And I'm just gonna post my daily analysis in here. And my stream analysis and stuff. And then also keep you updated after the stream. So we have now 259 people in the group. From today, 259 people. I told you guys already, it's gonna fill up fast. This group is gonna fill up fast. Yeah. Okay, selling zone at 38, but also at 28. Okay. Just have to watch these two levels. To be honest, the 38 is the ideal zone, but I marked out both of them. Study and bruises. I started reading the book after I got tapped in on the 4321 yesterday for a bit. Hopefully to finish the rest soon. Cool. Why are you more bearish buys? Yeah, we just talked about the reasoning, right? We talked about the reasoning why. We can do it one more time if you want, but like, I'm gonna show it on futures real quick. Or on this one right there. There we go, sorry. Now let's do it on futures because it's kind of clean, right? It's kind of clean. Let's do it right there. So for example, we have we took out these highs right here yesterday. That was actually really the goal, right? To take out these highs. You could see this right now very clearly. And then we actually managed to tap into that resistance right there. And we tapped into this resistance. And it's actually very strong resistance because we got rejected from it multiple times before. We know it's a major level right here. Look at that. Huge level. Major level to watch always. We got rejected there. We got rejected again. And this time we took out those highs. And then after we took out those highs, we reversed and we created a rejection, okay? And that rejection is now right there. And we're actually pulling back from that rejection. Now, what I look at is the volume profile of the previous week. And the reason why is because it allows us to see exactly that, okay? The previous weekly range. So for example, this is the whole weekly range. We mark out the volume profile. The fixed range volume profile, we tap it over the previous week. And then we understand exactly where the most and where the least volume has been traded inside of the previous weekly range. And you can see that we managed to break below the point of control right there, okay? So we broke below the point of control right around this level, okay? Which is this one right there, the red line. And that's actually a really bad sign. If you break above it to sweep the highs and then break below the area where most volume was traded last week, that is a level that you cannot neglect, because if you get rejected there, okay, then usually you'll find major resistance there too, okay, when you pull back into that, because you already got rejected there. So you created a higher high, a lower low, and then this could be the lower high retracement, right? Because we're now back in the previous weekly, what we call fair value area right there of the previous trading week. And we're trading back below that. Okay, so it's actually a very strong rejection now, okay? The fact that we got back down again. We had that opening gap here. You don't see this right here, but we have an opening gap, okay? Right there. This is still a moment where we could potentially target also, or get targeted in, right? Tap into that zone right there. So that's something that we really pay attention to. Now that's something that we could target, and then we would be targeting, for example, the 4 to 5-7 or something like that. I mean, it's just, I'm not saying we're gonna go there today, but like it could be that we now, because of the fact that we're back inside of the previous weekly range, that we are trying to target the gap again, especially with the dollar now being stronger, a little bit stronger again, right? Breaking above that resistance, right? And we still are holding below the range, above the range. So the dollar had this moment where we looked like we're gonna break down, but we did not. We closed back above. So if you look at all of that in comparison to where gold's at now, I cannot say we're looking strong. And I think more about selling today and looking for pullbacks for sells than buying today, if that makes sense. Okay? But that is the overall reason why we're looking at mostly sells and not buys until we have a little bit more of a pullback, or until we break structure, or show that we're actually breaking out of the previous weekly range again, pull back, and then look for the continuation. But for now, I think sellers are predominantly back in the market around this area right now, back in control. Yeah. So that's why we are looking at sells. And yesterday we looked at buys, because yesterday it was very obvious that we were looking at buys, because we had that opening gap. And we were just consistently pulling off higher highs, higher lows as well. And we were also holding up very well. And we respected every level. And we knew kind of that this level was a great target, right? That high of the previous week. What you wanted to see though, was that you actually closed above it. Because if we closed above the previous weekly range, it would be continuously bullish, right? Gold would be continuously probably to push higher. We will maybe have a small pullback and then continue to go higher. But we never closed above this. We never did. We tried, but we did not. We just swept and we came back down immediately. So buying here is, in my opinion, very tricky now. Now, in order to sell, we need to look for pullbacks, right? That's just the way it is. And I think that right now we have, I think we're just in the range. And I honestly think we're going to stay in the range until we have news, which is very soon. Are you a swing trader? Not really. The thing is, actually, I'm not really a swing trader. I'm not a scalper either. I'm not a day trader. I don't know what I am. It depends on what the market can give us. You know what I mean? I think that's the best way to look at it. Because sometimes, why would I, for example, enter here with you guys yesterday? Because we literally entered there, right? Yesterday we entered on that setup, right? Right there. So why would I then enter after 50 pips or exit and scalp, for example, if I see there's so much more potential? It will be a waste not to hold on to the trade, right? But sometimes you see, oh man, the market is actually super weak, so it's actually not worth it to hold on to the trade, right? So you close earlier. So it just depends on the market, man, I would say. How long until the news? I think around 30 minutes. Yo, Rohit, welcome to the channel, my man. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for the sub, the YouTube sub. Appreciate it. If you guys could help me out, and then I would be amazing if you guys smash up that like button, because it really helps the channel grow. And this is the 4th ASIN session. And I'm like, it's crazy for me because I live in Bali, right? Already for a long time. So I'm like here in Bali, and usually, like, I streamed on YouTube for years, right? So I've been streaming for years. And all my streams were New York streams. Pretty much. Pretty much all my streams were New York streams. Okay? And the thing is that usually I have like work throughout the day, or I can go to the gym, spend the day, right? Like a normal day. And then in the evening I stream on YouTube at 8 p.m., 9 p.m. until like 12 p.m. or like 1 a.m., right? 12 a.m., 1 a.m. And then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed and stuff. And that's kind of my rhythm, right? Now my rhythm is like, I wake up at like 8 in the morning, 7:30, right? I stream, and then I'm done. And I'm like, yo, what? Like, it's like strange. Like, okay, what? I stream a couple hours and then I'm like done for the day. And I don't know if anything in the evening. I'm like, yo, that's strange, man. That's weird. Yeah, we're pretty much flat right now at the moment at support. So some people would say I would buy here as a counter trade. Even though I 100% believe the sells are the best setups of the day. Actually, it would be really good because you would see some sort of manipulation and then the larger move down. Manipulation, larger move down. That would be so good. But yeah, we'll watch it. Lorenzo's playlist on Spotify, yes. I have it for you right there. Keep in mind, I'm working on a set, on a mix. All right, I'm working on a mix right now at the moment. So yeah, looking forward to share this later on. Maybe on Telegram right now, maybe I could do that. See, work on a set right there. Yes. Maybe I can share it later on. Lorenzo, why do you turn on the fan? Because it's 32 degrees here. Celsius. What do you think? People are like, why do you have a fan on in the house? Because it's boiling. If I don't have the fan on, the camera would die. Okay. that is the conclusion. No, not 5 minutes till news. I think we have 30 minutes, correct? Yeah. 30 minutes, 34 minutes. It's a bit annoying that we wait for the news today, but it is important for this to happen because once this is done, I think we're gonna see more volume coming in. Yeah, we're watching these two levels very, very closely. What if it breaks down? What if it breaks down? Well, the thing is, we have a lot of support below even. Okay, we have support around the 4,300. So you can try to short this, for example. But let's say you're gonna short this now, right? And you look for the breakdown. You're gonna tap into the support. And I don't think the risk to reward is really good. Right, so what I would love to see was like, let's say price is like pushing up. Now we have room. Now we can talk, right? Now we have like room for the London and New York session to do its thing. Right, so that's the difference between like entering at the breakout or entering at the retracement. If you would enter at the breakout, we will find support immediately. Right here, the low volume node. And the breakout, the retracement will give us a lot more room. So you have, for example, the 28, that's 250 pips. You have the 38, which is the best one, 350 pips. And then you can even think about the potential follow through, right? But yeah. What is the time for your streams? The streams is at this time, 8:30 till 8:30, between 8:30 and 9 p.m. Did you see Toporia's face? Yeah, I've seen it, man. Yeah, it's really nasty. I've seen it. It's crazy. What time frame are you at? 5 minutes. Is there a reason you don't use the developing profile? Yeah, because of the ASIN session. It's too early. I prefer to use, I'd have at least like multiple sessions behind us, so I can use the whole day. If you want someone to print and sell the books, we give the rights. I mean, the book is free already, right? So like, but if you want to print it, people can print it. We might do it later on. Yeah, so we were kind of bullish yesterday, and now we're bearish, more bearish, even though we're holding that support here. Look at that. Huge push. Exactly what we want to see. And actually, this is 30 minutes before the news. Do you have socials? Facebook? Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram if you want. You can follow me on Instagram, but I mean for my trading, I just literally opened a Telegram group today. So you guys are the first guys to join this. The first guys to join the group. Wow, what a push. Kind of waiting for that. So you mainly focus on the previous day and previous week? Today. Only today. Because it's kind of relevant right now. Let's see if there are any huge orders above as well. Not really, right? Again, all those orders are sitting below. So that means we might come down at some point today to fill those orders. Right here, look at these orders sitting below. I like that actually. That's actually good. It's a good sign. I like that. All these orders that we see here, 248, 252, 278. And now the market's holding support here and it's pushing up. But if these orders are staying there, then you might see something like exactly this. You can find the resistance and then whoop, it starts to go and draw towards those orders, which is sitting at the 4,300. Sitting at the 4,300. So like, that's actually very good. Kind of works like act like a magnet. You don't really see any large orders sitting here, except for there. In comparison, it's nothing actually. So yeah, a lot more limit orders are sitting below. People are looking to get filled lower. Do you think traders should have a job or business and not completely depending on trading? I mean, it depends how much money you have. How long can you survive, right? If you need to make your salary from trading and that's pretty much it, then I would never do that. I would never recommend that, you know, because you always should have at least a plan, a side hustle. For example, I know a guy, right? And he was a security guard or something like that. He worked at these security houses, these little houses, at villas, apartments, like apartment complexes or things like that. And this guy was just sitting there chilling all day, being the security guy, and was trading. That's it. He was trading every day. So he was just doing his security work. And then he was trading. And then at some point his trading took off. And then he stopped working. So the idea would of course be that you have something that pays your bills while you are able to still have the time, right, to spend to develop yourself, to learn how to. So that is actually very good. So if you could find something that could do both, it allows you to be either work at home, right? So have like a home, every person in the world, I don't care where you're from, you could find a job online somewhere. There are no excuses anymore in this day and age. You know what I mean? There is enough to do online. And it allows you to stay at home. Maybe you don't make enough, like a crazy amount of money, but at least enough to support yourself and then study and learn. Yo, good morning, Suplas, my friend. Yeah, these orders are still there, right below. So I think there is a big chance we'll target those orders eventually. But yeah, right now we're not there yet, even though we're still holding it. We're still holding support here, you see? We're still holding that support, and that's actually the level that we want to work towards. We want to actually get towards this area and find resistance there. It's actually this zone, this area. That's something that we want to work towards too, because this is where the most sellers took place. This is where buyers got trapped. This is where sellers took control. And it's like the 50% retracement and aligns with the previous daily point of control. So that would be super duper nice. But like, yeah. We'll probably not make the big move. We'll stay in the range until like, probably like the next 20 minutes still maybe. Maybe the next 10 minutes. Maybe start getting a bit more volatile in the next 10 minutes. And then the news comes out in 20 minutes. And I think that's going to do it for the Asia session. I think it's going to be super important. Every Japanese news is going to be important when it comes down to the Asia session, right? Every news related to Japan is really big, really big. It's really important. The Bank of Japan interest rate decision is actually the most important news in a long time. What news feed do you use? DX feed or news? Sorry, economic calendar. Investing.com. Investing.com. What happens if you already push down? Then we'll have to probably go to these levels right here, like I talked about this one, to the 4,300, and then we'll probably gonna try to fill those orders. And yeah, I mean we'll be very close to the gap, but this is where we will find support already. But I think for now we're holding up really strong here. It wants to break it, but it just can't do it. Can't break it. But man, this is by far the best level. If you could pull back one more time, it will be amazing. I would suggest to create a group on Discord instead of Telegram, where we can create a proper community. We can also chat with the members. Environment plays a very important role for traders. You know what the problem is with that, bro? I've done that before. And the problem with that is that a lot of people... how can I explain this? If you create like a free Discord group, where people can communicate, etc. It sounds really good in theory, and it sounds like amazing, but you're gonna have a lot of misinformation, a lot of disinformation. A lot of people will try to scam each other. I've seen it firsthand. People are gonna sell and promote their own this, their own that, and they're gonna try to influence other people, and they're gonna show off, and they're pretending like they're the best trader in the world, but they're actually not. And there's, you know, all these different things, man. And you just have to really moderate that so well. And it's so hard to do. It's easy to do with 100 people. It's very hard to do with 10,000 people. And it's easy to get to 10,000 people if you do something like this, right? So I prefer to keep things just private for my community and public for my channel that I created right now, where at least I can give you all the updates from my side. And you can do whatever you want to do with that information. But like, from my side, I know what I can share, what I prefer, what I value, why I share it. So for me, like I said before, yesterday's stream, we had this buy limit set. I was like, okay, I want to set the buy limit there. And I waited for the buy limit to play out, right? And that's why we executed that trade, for example. And then that's something that I'm like, yeah, that's something important for like Telegram, because if I can post and keep you guys updated after the stream, then that's all that matters for me, right? That I can stay in touch with you if I have a buy limit and I have to stop streaming for the day because, you know, the trade doesn't play out right away. I at least have a way to contact you and to say, this is what I'm going to do now. I'm waiting for this confirmation, or I canceled the limit order because of this reason. That could also be another layer, right? I canceled the buy or sell limit because I don't like the price action at the moment, or whatever it is, right? That's why I created the group yesterday. Hope that makes sense. So yeah, I wanted to think, I thought about like that community, but it's like, I just know what kind of, how hard it is to moderate this properly and to keep it safe, keep it a safe environment. So just a free Telegram. That's all that matters, I think, right now. You're also irritated by continuing messages from the subscription bells. Yeah, I mean, sorry for that. I turned it off for a second as well because it's just too many. I think it's because the ASIN session is a new session. So a lot of new people join the streams and stuff, you know? So that's why. Want to play some chess? Maybe next time. Can invite you guys over here to Bali. You can play with me. Okay? I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. All right? I'm stuck at the 1400 forever. But anyways, I'm a big fan. 3 things I like the most. Okay? Trading, playing chess, and mixing, DJing right now. That's it. That's it. Wix9, respect, brother. Just stopping by to show some love. Hey, yo, man. What's up, brother? I know you from somewhere, man. Wix9. Yes. Nice, man. What's happening, man? How are you doing? Much love, brother. Take care. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate your message. An OG here. An OG. An OG. Love it. Have to respect the OGs here because they have been here for a long time. Yes. Showing up every day. Respect to that. It's a hard job, you know? Why did you decide to go for yesterday's long? The main reason why we took yesterday's long was because of the retracement into the previous range. You know, you guys know I like to use the volume profile, right? For years already, right? We look at the previous range, the breakout, the retest, and that the continuation play, right? So that's why we looked at that long. It was pretty straightforward, actually. Right? It was pretty much the range, the breakout, the retest, the pullback. We had our limit order. And that's it. We targeted the highs. Nothing crazy. There were some other confirmations too, right? From an order flow perspective and stuff. But like, that was pretty much it. Nothing more, nothing less. Just to pull back into that range. Low volume node. And that's it. Like, pretty straightforward retracement in a bullish environment. Actually, Pretty simple, actually. Nothing too crazy. Pretty textbook, but we just needed to be patient. And sometimes, you know, it's so easy to force setups, you know what I mean? And to just like enter now and enter now. But I just learned one thing. If you're just patient and you mark out your levels and you let price come to your zones, then over time, if you do this consistently day after day, you have really clear data of what works and what does not work. And you can use that data, you can leverage that data, and you can then improve and make all these improvements you need in order to get there and to fine tune and to optimize. So if you just stick to that, I have my levels and I want price to come to my zones, and that's the only zone or area of interest where I'm interested in executing, then you can start filtering out the mistakes very well. If you enter today and then tomorrow randomly, every time it's random, it's what the market is doing right now, you'll never have structure, you'll never have a process, you will always be looking for the next big dopamine hit, and you will never get anywhere. Yes, you're gonna have great days and you're gonna have really bad days. And then you always stay either like break even or you go up and you go down again, and there's no, you know, no consistency. So we're trying to build that consistency, and it's very hard on the streams because on the streams you want me to trade, but we can only trade what the market gives us. That's the difference. So that's why I decided, you know, to just, I'm gonna build the group and keep you guys updated there, and I can keep you updated there the whole day. Okay, look at SpaceX. I mean, I'm also curious actually what happened there. What happened on SpaceX right now? Let's see. Oh, wow. Ooh, not bad. 192, wow. That is not bad. That is not bad. That is not bad. What is Elon Musk net worth right now at the moment? Elon Musk net worth today. $1.3 trillion. 2 days ago, it was $1.1 trillion. So he added, roughly speaking, a little 200 billion net worth to his resume in the last 2 days. So yeah, $1.3 trillion. That is 1,300 billion. That is 1.3 times a million. 1.3 million times a million. That is more than a country's average country's GDP. Of most countries, or some countries. Now this guy's printing right now. Printing. I mean, he's not obviously able to sell it, of course, because of the rule, but you can borrow money against it. As much free money as you want. That's for sure. Okay, anyways, we're pushing back up, guys. We're seeing a little bit of a spike here. We're kind of steadily are holding that support that we talked about. We have news in about 6 minutes. So let's see if this causes a bit of volume. Let's hope it does. Let's see if we could get up to one of those zones, the 28 or the 38. Yeah, we just want to wait for that news, and then we'll have a clarity around in terms of the volume today, right? If this is going to make like a difference. When is the news? In 5 minutes. Yes. 4 minutes, sorry. 4 minutes. Let's watch the dollar yen, actually, when that happens, because I think that's going to be the most important thing that we want to watch. The dollar yen. I'm very curious to see how the dollar yen will respond to that news. Yeah, we will probably need some moderators for the Asian session too soon. It's true. Okay, dollar yen right now is tanking. Okay, so if the dollar yen is tanking, right? Let's revert this. If the dollar yen is tanking, look what's happening to gold right now. You see that? So if the yen is getting stronger, all right, look at that. The yen is pushing up. Right now, so is gold pushing up. Okay, the dollar is probably now pushing down a little bit. All right? Look at that. The dollar is pushing down because of the yen pushing up. And the yen has such a big influence over the dollar at the moment that this news is really relevant to us. That's why. And this is why gold is now pushing higher. And I think this is what we're seeing now. Right before the news, 2 minutes before, gold starts pushing higher, okay? And the dollar starts pushing lower. So we're paying attention to the dollar yen right now, because it's gonna be interesting to see how this reacts, pushes up or down when the news comes out. In 2 minutes. Keep in mind, if we push up aggressively, like I marked out the 28, but only with confirmation, because the 38 is the sweet spot. It's the best level for me personally to look for setups from. The 38. All right, that's really what I would love to see actually price getting into, to be honest. That will be my ideal setup. But like 28 is still an area where you could expect some resistance as well. Yeah. All right, let's see. How much do we have left? 20 seconds. 20 seconds. Any push, impulse, nothing? Any reaction? Not yet. I'm still waiting. Can take a little bit longer. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. We'll keep a close eye on this. Let's check. Anyways, not really, but gold is at least moving, which is good. Gold is starting to at least push up a little bit, so that's exactly what you wanted to see, right? Yeah, watch these two areas very closely. For now, the dollar yen is holding that support. What other news do we have? We have also the FOMC later, but not today, tomorrow. Yeah, that's another thing that we have to talk about as well. Overall slow day, slow Asian session today. Different from yesterday pretty much. Yesterday was a pretty strong day. Yesterday we had the impulse to the upside, right? Yesterday we had strong impulse, a little bit of a range, manipulation, and then the continuation. So you had these two big impulses right here. They're very good, and I think the previous week, we also had a lot of impulse moves, a lot of strong impulse moves. Today is the first day we actually are more in the range right now at this current moment. Okay, so we just need to give it a bit more time. And like I said, we are, in my opinion, still in a selling market. Now that we have taken out the highs, right? We flipped the highs here. We are now back at supply. We got rejected. We took out the previous highs here. We're now manipulating price down again after taking out the previous weekly high. We got into that resistance right there. We couldn't break above that resistance. If we would have closed above it, it would have been a different story, but we couldn't close above that resistance. And we got rejected. Actually, we swapped the highs and we break down. And then we created the 4-hour supply zone, right? So that's why the 38 is my favorite level, because it also aligns with supply on the higher time frame. And on the lower time frame, we're pretty much back at what we call the previous daily point of control. And it's actually a very bad sign. If you break out of the range, you can't close above this. You take out the previous weekly highs, and then you fall back inside of the range and you break below the point of control of the previous week and a very high. Okay, that shows that there's just a weak market. Like we had kind of a failed breakout, and we've pulled back into the weekly range of the previous week, and we're now operating again below those levels of resistance. So immediately, if we would retrace now, we'll find resistance, we'll find resistance, we'll find resistance, and it will be very hard. to break through all those levels again. So yeah, keep that in mind. At the same time, we have that gap below that has not been filled. We have no, we could easily tap into a trade towards this gap. And if you look at the order flow, okay, which is actually very interesting now if you look at it on the 15 minute, look at where the big orders are. The big orders are all sitting below. They're not sitting above, they're sitting below. And people say, oh, that's interesting, that's support, right? No, it is actually liquidity. It is actually large orders, like large participants, buy limits, you could say. So there's actually a lot of interest there, and it could act eventually as some magnet. If these orders stay there, then at some point the market could turn towards that. And it wants to pick up those orders. It wants to take those orders and then make the next move. So it seems to be aligning very well with the technical structure right now at the moment of the market. And that's why we're more bearish today and we were more bullish yesterday. Until we're proven otherwise, I would say. When would I be bullish again? Either if we would come back down all the way to, let's say, let's do this other chart. We would come down all the way to, like, let's say the 12-hour demand. This demand zone right there, right? Which is like a retracement, or this zone right there. I would be considering buys again, right? So it would be something like this. On the higher time frame, this is the daily, or like this, right? Because I do believe that we're relatively undervalued on the higher time frame. I think we will make a big of a larger pullback eventually. But now that we took out the highs and we failed to break above this, I think that we have to make the pullback and then make the move potentially. So we have these major zones that we're looking for on the higher time frame that we're watching very closely as well, which are pretty much these two areas right here on the higher time frame, at least. So that is at the 4236, for example. Okay, so actually the idea would be to find a way towards this area where we could trade towards that zone, right? We could trade towards this zone right there, that big range right there, and then get back to higher time frame support, etc. That's one way. Another way would be we would have to then actually this time completely close above it. So we have to actually really close above the highs this time. So we have to not fake move, fake out, or sweep the highs. We have to actually close above the highs, right? And then look for higher prices. Until then, I look for sells right now. And I'm looking to trade short towards this low and then look for continuation. News is out. I don't see it. I don't know. I don't see it. I see the yen pushing higher. There we go. Finally. That is good. Good to know. Dollar yen is dropping. So that should be good for gold. That should be more positive for gold in the short term right now. Sir Lorenzo is double top at the 1 minute possible. I look at the 5 minutes. So I don't know. We look at the retracements. When you're in that selling zone, what do you look for? I would say in here, I would look for the confirmation. Lower time for confirmation. Somehow reaction, rejection. If we would push into this level and we would break the zone, we don't get the confirmation we want. I will probably place, I'll probably in advance place a limit order, sell limit. Yeah. I'll place a sell limit. But I keep my stop loss, to be honest, a little bit flexible here. So I'm not going to put my stop loss right above that zone. I'm just going to keep it a bit flexible to see how this price develop around there. That's usually what works the best for me, right? That I keep my risk flexible, so I'm not over risking. I'm not going full margin, but I'm like moderated risk, and I kind of can see how price develops. But I'm already in a limit order, so I will execute a limit around that level. Or I watched it and I enter market, but usually limit. Here, I would definitely wait for some sort of reaction first. Yeah. Why is it so dark today here? It's got a storm today, I think, or something, right? Are you gonna stream whole day? No, but we will have our zone marks. But what I'm gonna do now, and I think I'm so stupid that I've never done this earlier, man. I should have made this Telegram group earlier instead of yesterday, because now I can update you guys for every stream trade right here before, and just say this is exactly what we're looking for, and this is what I'm gonna do. And I keep you updated for the setup, etc., 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 etc. Right? Super simple to just create this group and to post and update you guys with quick videos, me talking about the setup, whatever, when I'm not streaming. I don't know why I never did this beforehand, but like it just makes so much sense that if price is not moving in Asia and we're flat right now, for example, we're in a range, and I stop streaming after a couple hours and I have to go to the gym or I have to leave, that I can keep you guys in the loop every time when the market plays out, when the trade plays out, according to the stream trade. So I literally opened this group today, or before I went to bed, and this is what I'm gonna do right now. My analysis of the day, my stream analysis, so when I stream Asia, I will post it in here too. And then when I end the stream and we're not in a trade yet, I can keep you guys in the loop of what I'm going to do. Buy limit, sell limit, market order, confirmation. I'm in right now. Let's see what happens. Videos, whatever the case may be, right? Results. So yeah, if you're interested in joining this as well, then you can join me. You don't have to pay for it. It's just a free updated Telegram. It's like an extension of the stream pretty much. For now, we're streaming the Asia session. I think tomorrow I might stream. No, not tomorrow. Sorry, Thursday I might stream New York. We have to wait and see. I think Thursday New York, Friday. Thursday New York, Friday Asia. Wednesday New York. Let me see. I think tomorrow is still Asia. Wait, let me look at my calendar. Wait 1 sec. Yeah, tomorrow Asia, Thursday New York, Friday Asia. Telegram's free, yeah. It's just it's just for the updates. I mean, the stream is free too, right? So the Telegram is the same. The more we kind of stay in this range, though, the more we will actually, the bigger the chance we're going to see some manipulation happening later. Why do you think it's a sell, not a buy? I would go to the analysis right now and explain like the higher time frame and everything. We went through it so many times already. Let me know what you guys think, by the way, if you guys agree with it or not. Like for the people that watch the analysis, 4 hour, dollar, higher time frame, and then the structure right now. Yesterday was definitely clear buy. Today I think there were more or less sells. And I was thinking, okay, what is like the best trade of the day, right? Not right, like what's the best trade right now? No, what's the best trade of the day? What is like the best setup? Where we could place a take profit, if I would enter there, I would definitely look for lower. 4,300 number one. And then maybe the rest in the gap partially. All these orders are sitting below here. So I think that's what we're trying to pull to if we stay there, if these orders are staying there. What about your other guys in the group? Yeah, the guys in the elite have been really crushing it now. You guys know that I worked. Maybe you guys don't know that, but I worked actually with a smaller group. Oh, I worked actually with a smaller group people. Okay. And we actually did like a 15 people group. This is the second group that I was hosting. Right now we are already closed, right? So I don't have anything like right now to like to sell you or something like that. But like we're working with the current group, and these guys right now at the moment are absolutely killing it right now at the moment. They're doing exactly what we talked about. They're following the exact system as well. I'm very proud of them because they have been putting in the work. They also are communicating every day. And this is only from yesterday. It's very, very amazing to see them executing their setups every day, following up with it. It's just, they're unstoppable, man. Sonny, past phase 1, guys. Boom. So yeah, this is what happens when you do put in the work. And you do invest in yourself. So yeah, it's crazy. Shout out to the elite. Can we break out of the range, guys? What do you guys think? Let's see, because we're in an unstoppable range today. This is the market open right here at 6, and we have been pretty much flat. So I think London is going to make the move, to be honest. What do you think? I think right now London is going to make the move. Maybe pre-London, like 130. Asia market's always boring. No, man. No. Asia market is not boring at all. This was Asia yesterday. Look at that. This was Asia Friday. Some big moves, man. Wednesday, Thursday. Look at this. No, man, we have to look at this, man. Killer moves in Asia, man. It's just, yeah, sometimes we just range, whatever. But in general, killer moves in Asia. Absolute killer moves. Okay. These are all like at least like what? 500, 600 pip moves minimum. So there's pretty epic moves actually. You have to put it in retrospect. Yeah. And it's less manipulation too. You know, it's less manipulation. Yes, okay, 1%. All right. We got the rate hike for 25 basis points on the Japanese yen. The yen is dropping a little bit again, I guess. I don't know. It's reacting like it's pushing up. So the dollar means, is the dollar pushing up? Slightly. Okay. The yields flat. Okay. Good to know. Not like the impulse that we really were looking for, right? To be honest, with gold. But it's news that we cannot really neglect, though. Yeah, like it's been yesterday. Yesterday we made like what? From the bottom to the top of the setup, I think yesterday was around 800 pips. Okay, this was an 800 pip move, and we already had an 800 pip opening gap. So we're talking like at least 2,000 pips in just yesterday's move from the low to the high. Okay, so yeah, of course. Let's give it a couple more minutes, see where we are, see if we can break out or not. And otherwise, we know exactly what to do today. I'm very excited to work with you guys in this group right here. Keep you guys updated about all the setups I'm taking, etc. Post Asia. Maybe not the New York, but just for the London, Asia. Right, New York will be separate, but like... especially during the stream, the aftermath of the stream, the setups from the stream. So yeah, we'll keep you guys updated as well. Today's actually a perfect day. If we don't break out, then we know exactly what to do. We're actually pretty hard. Hello, brother. I'm based in Dubai. Can you give me a shout out? Shout out. Shout out to you, my friend. Asin. Sorry. It's hard to speak out your name. Asin. Shin Lee. Sorry. Awesome, man. Where are you guys from? Any people in Bali here? In the chat? Any people from Bali in the chat? Bandung. Alright. Brazil, South Africa, Argentina. I love South Americans as well right now. I love South Americans. South America. Amazing, guys. Wow, you guys are amazing. Worldwide. Wow. Did you move to Bali? Yes, already for years now. Yes. For tax reasons. If you don't live longer than 6 months in the Netherlands, you don't have to pay tax on personal income anymore because you don't live there, right? So longer than 180 days. And, you know, I have no physical address there either. So I'm actually, how you call it? Immigrated. I'm done. I'm out. Unfortunately, I have been signed out. I do have my Dutch passport still. And I can apply for my Italian passport. But that's it. If I would live in the Netherlands right now, okay, I would pay around, I think, 60% tax in total. Because it's like 40%, 45% with a bunch of other things. Like it's like 60%. And then I would pay around €3 a liter of petrol, which is like 3.5 USD. And now it would probably be raining a lot. And probably I would be living in like a smaller apartment and not in a villa. And I will probably not have a pool. So I don't know, man. What do you think? Okay, we're pushing. All right. Maybe a bit of a lagging period. It seems clear that the dollar is in at resistance actually, right? You can see this right now a little bit. So we have to be a bit careful with that, with this zone. It might actually be the 38, but let's see. Like I said, the plan was confirmation entries only here. No aggressive entering here. No immediate entries. Unless you see the rejection. Zone A, different story. But I'm happy that we're getting there. Patience always wins. Adrian, same here. Left Germany, went to Peru, renting out houses. Taxes here are 4%, ROI 6.5%. Nice. That's a W. That's a winning situation. Have you not made a single trade in 1 week? You have to really pay attention to the Telegram group right now, yeah? We just opened it for the right reasons. Exactly for questions like that. So you can really see what I mean with this, yeah? We just opened it, so now we'll be able to be updated about everything we do. All right, finally, we were in the first one. You have to pay attention to this. The gbpusd. We know that this will be an area of interest too. So we are fully aware of that. We are not far away. Only confirmation setups here though, right? Only confirmation setups here. Yeah. Yeah, where we arrived. We arrived definitely in our first area right now. Okay. Finally. Patience wins always, every time. Okay, so what I'm gonna do already, I already know it right now. I can already see what I mean here. So I will already set a limit order higher at the 53. I mean, pretty much that level that we exactly were talking about, right? That first original zone here. Just in case we come up higher. 38. Just gonna set the level there. Let me set this already. And then after that, we'll look at this level right here on the lower time frame. One second. Yeah, we're gonna for sure do that already, just in case. Yeah, I'm gonna set a limit order right there. It's in the zone right here, okay? So I've already set the limit order right at this level. Sell limit set. Yes. Now the question is, okay, how do we react here at this zone, this earlier zone? Because this limit order is set right now. This is the order that we talked about already way earlier. We said this is a level that I want to watch really, really carefully. The question is now here. We are now at the previous weekly POC. Is there a chance that we will be rejecting here already? And if so, is there a reason to enter a trade potentially already? Targeting the 4,300 right there. Right, taking out those lows. So manipulating the highs, taking out the lows. And can we already see rejection earlier? That's kind of what we're trying to understand right now. Because the limit order is already set for the other one. Why do you analyze the Forex but trade the futures? Because most people here trade Forex. And I use futures as well for my analysis. So we use both Forex and futures, which is fine. Just have to understand the right levels, you know what I mean? Find the right levels for futures and for Forex at the same time, which is not a problem. Yeah, let's see. For now, I don't see any weakness yet. And we knew that the volume would come in, by the way. We knew that the volume would come in after the Japanese yen interest rate decision, after the news. Yeah, see, we're kind of breaking through it. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I knew there was no confirmation here, right? So no confirmation to sell here. No weakness, no sign of weakness, so no sell. This is why we said confirmation here, limit there. I'm much more aggressive there. So let's just focus on this one. Right now, focus on the previous daily levels and go here. And just wait for the order to be activated. Yeah, so seem to be aligning. Love the push though. I actually like the push a lot. It's gonna show some strength, which is good. Where do you have your entry? 59 on futures, which is, I think, around 38 on spot. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I actually really like the push here. Let's see if the dollar is actually not hold. It's actually holding up now. Yeah, it's holding up. It is holding up. It's holding up quite well, actually. Oil is dropping. It's back at that range. Yeah, we're not far away, which is good. Did you watch the Ilya Taporia fight? Wow, man, yeah, I've seen his face, bro. It is absolutely, yeah, ridiculous, man. Like, scary almost. Never expected something like that to happen. But he was so much smaller, by the way. So much smaller. For the people who don't know, we're talking about the UFC on the White House. It was really nasty, actually. Very nasty. Yeah, so we're already seeing a bit of a rejection inside of the low volume node here. We have to take that in consideration. But I think that we're still holding up quite well. We have to watch this very carefully now. The limit order is there. Already set. Already placed. $38, $37. 38, I think. It depends. It's either 38, 37. Because we look at futures. And on CFDs on my phone, let me check. It is indeed 38. Yeah. Are you still boxing? No, but I will today. Boxing today. We will go. Like I said before, I have like an injury on my lower back. So it's super annoying. And I trained last week. I went to the boxing gym last week. I was in pain, man. But I kept pushing. I kept pushing. So far, so good. Analysis aligning. Wow, big shout out to you guys, man. We opened our Telegram group today. The free group for the stream updates, the trades, the journal, the training, the free training, our free channel. No strings attached. And we're at 600 subscribers in the first day. Wow. Damn. Damn. GG. Okay, let's look at the order flow right now because we're seeing a bit of a rejection already. Yeah, we're there. We're very close, man. We are very, very, very close. It's definitely a zone of interest here. But we do have that low volume node sitting already on the left, so we might see, for that exact reason, already a bit of a rejection right now. Look at that. So it might be that we see the rejection a bit earlier already, but we'll see. We still have this major zone here with a lot of volume as well. So I expect support here. And this candle could still flip bullish. If you break this, then it's a different story. But we could easily bounce from here right now on this 15-minute candle. So let's see if this candle, 15-minute candle flips bullish here. It wants to. Yeah, you see? Yeah, there we go. You see that? So this candle could flip bullish. There we go. We flipped bullish. Look at that. You see? That's why, man. Be patient. Patient, patient, patient. We flip bullish. Yeah. It's so tempting, right, to short it when you see the rejection here. And you're like, oh, this is gonna drop. And then boop, reversal. And it's flipping bullish. So we just have to be patient, man. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's very interesting to see that. Welcome, man. Welcome to the Asian session, my friends. You see, you just have to be patient, and the market will make the move. The only thing is I have a PT session in like 30 minutes, so I hope we can get up there and get filled at least. What is your regular time to come on stream? Found you a couple days ago. Definitely like the breakdown, how much you show to justify it. Earned the sub here. Amazing. Thank you, man. Usually around this time, like around 9 p.m., 8:30 p.m., 9 p.m. EST. So Asian session pretty much right now. For now, we update the stream trades in the Telegram group in case I have to go. That was a good move yesterday to do because the trade played out after, which is fine because the setup is a setup. Sometimes you have to be patient. And if you want to have the best setup of the day, then you need to be patient for the right setup. So right now we're looking at the 4338 to be that setup. What we want to see is actually a final squeeze and then the sell-off to the 4300. Targeting all that sell side right there below. All that sell side, it's still there. It's still chilling there. It's still holding up. The 4300, the 4290, the 4280 of futures actually. A lot of orders sitting there, waiting the patient to be filled, or patiently waiting to be filled later on. How far are we from it? Not far, not far, not far, not far, not far. Yeah, if we can get one more squeeze up, I think that will be the ideal case scenario. If we can't reject it here, we might indeed already be dropping down here, but we need to break below the 45 on futures, which is actually the previous candle low. So we have to then break the low of this candle right here. But right now, it's trying to continuously push. And I hope it can. Hi Lorenzo, is my second timer. Does Orderflow shows orders placed in the zones or Orderflow shows volume? Both. So for example, on the left side, you see the orders, the executed market orders, right? The executed orders, the volume, and the distribution between buyers and sellers. And here you see on the right side, you see the orders limit, the limit orders. Okay. So on the right side, you see the limit orders. On the left side, you see the volume and the market orders. Yes. And right now in the last candle here, you could see, oh, a lot of volume traded in this candle. Strong push up. And this is actually where we are holding now, support as well. Which is actually an invisible line right here. Oh, sorry. An invisible line right here. Right there. Right there. That's actually where we're holding support now. So if we lose this, yeah, maybe we'll continue to drop lower. And we'll not reach our limit order directly. Yeah, the thing is, we're also getting a bit overvalued on the 15. And the last time we were overvalued on the 50-minute, we were here. That was the last time when we were overvalued. We were actually there. And we're now breaking structure, right? We're now looking at that break structure to the downside, etc., etc., etc. We broke down, we swapped those highs on the higher time frame. And now we're overvalued again. Here, and we are close to our limit order. So I would say that is the best setup in alignment with the previous daily point of control and the order flow, as well as the previous range right here that is still holding us as resistance right there. So if we can get there, that would be top, right? But we are definitely overvalued against the dollar now already a little bit on the 15-minute. So we are fully aware of that we are already more overvalued right now. And we could see a potential drop already from here. But yeah, we're definitely bearish biased. There is definitely a higher chance that we're going to come down instead of that we're going to continuously to try to go higher. I don't see any like signals right now that can give me the indication of, oh, we're going to push higher. I don't see any big orders above. I don't see clear structure. I see a lot of resistance still right around here. But yeah, we're reaching this valuation, overvaluation, so I will be really paying attention also towards this area. Because we are in a gap indeed. We talked about this too. Well, the goal is to get to the 4,300, I think. That is kind of the goal here today. To trade towards, or try to trade towards the 4,300. And we're really holding that support here, right? On the lower time frame. It really wants to break it, but it can't. It can't break it down. But it really wants to do it here. So it's very tempting to take a trade here. Because you see the weakness, you see the overvaluation, and we are still trading in the gap in the low volume node. This by far be the best entry though. Do you think we could push up one more time? I think it's possible, yeah. It is possible because we're still above it. We're still above this area. We haven't lost this zone yet. And even though it wants to do it, it tries, but it can't right now. And we still have a lot of support here as well. We could even drop a little bit lower, back to like the 47, and then come do something like this and bounce again. I have a feeling we have to be very patient. Let's mark out the previous weekly very low point of control one more time. So we have the previous weekly range right here. And the previous weekly point of control is there. We're getting rejected at it actually right now as well. Look at that. Huh? That's a lot of resistance already, my friends. Right here earlier. What would be the target? 4,300. 4,300 will be the target. Eventually.
Bring the baseline back around again.
Yeah, we have a lot of support there though, at the 46, 47. Yeah, but we have a lot of support at 46, 47 right now. Smith says your original analysis is correct. Let price come to you. We're still there. Limit order is still placed there. Yeah, limit order still placed around this, the 38. We'll find a lot of support around this area right now. Okay. Right here. So we could potentially bounce from here now. We're paying attention to this. WakeWorks is new from France on 100k funded. How did you get this 4338 resistance level? Previous daily point of control. High volume node, previous daily point of control. Really good level to look for shorts from always when you pull back and manipulate to the upside if the bias is bearish. Yeah. Even though the previous weekly is already respecting it, that's what I'm kind of debating right now. Because the bias is bearish. That's not really for me like any doubt. I don't have any doubt around my bias. For example, today, yesterday we were very bullish, and today we're bearish. Yeah, we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it. Do you know Fibonacci for gold USD? What is that? Mate, I don't know. Not really. Yeah, we're kind of now in that zone that we talked about, that support. Do you know Fibonacci? I have no idea what it is, bro. How much does the order flow cost? Around 50 euros a month. And then you need to pay for the data too. So I think it's around 80 in total. 80 euros a month, I think. But maybe it's cheaper if you're from a different country. I'm not really 100% sure. It could be that it's cheaper. I'm not really sure though. Yeah, Lorenzo, New York is not the same without you and your vibes. What about the Asia, bro? What about the Asia session? I just wake up straight to work in the morning. It's very lucrative for me personally, actually. It's very lucrative. What is the plan today? The plan is to short gold today. Then to go to the gym. Then to sorry, not to go to the gym, go to the boxing gym today. Then work with the group. And like I said, I'm going to work on a Telegram group. I'm going to keep things updated in there. So I'm going to see what I can do now. I have a lot of plans for it. So yeah, we're building out the group. This is the first day we opened the group. So of course, there's not much in the group because I just opened it. But, you know, I was tired of not being able to talk to you outside of the streams only. And then the next stream, I had to recap, and then people forgot about the trade ID or the buy limit, the sell limit. So, you know, we had to make a group for this. So I can stay in touch. What are you targeting for gold? The lows. The lows of the lows of the lows. The lows, lows, lows. The lows. Find our way down. Right? Pullback, maybe. Double top, maybe. Limit order is still there. A little bit higher if you can get up there, but it's getting now... it gets rejected pretty strongly. At the moment. At the moment. So we're paying attention to this, but watch this level now very closely. But yeah, I hope you guys can see that we're well, not really bullish biased, right? And this impulse, in my opinion, was just an impulse, nothing more. And it was pretty obvious after today, or after, sorry, yesterday's session. Where is it? The 4-hour time frame. That we are now in that supply zone. We swept those highs and we broke structure. And now we're pulling back. So this is, in my opinion, the ultimate moment for that like retracement. Push down and make a little bit of a stronger pullback. Yeah, let's see if we can actually do that. I think we should be just patiently waiting for that exact entry. That's my personal opinion. The 50-minute looks weak, but we're still above this area. We're still bouncing or reacting from it. If we would close below this, then it's a different story. Then I would say that maybe we'll not be able to pull back anymore towards our zone, which allows us to take the best setup. Then we might have to start considering reversals down. So it depends. How many trades do you take in a day? Sometimes 1, sometimes 0, sometimes 3. Sometimes 4. It depends. I was talking to a guy in the group before. And I was like, yo, okay, how many trades do you take a day? He's like, yeah, I think around like 80. I'm like, I was drinking my tea. I'm like, you know, just drinking. He says 80. I'm like, I spit out my tea. I'm like, bro, 80 trades? Like, how do you even do that? Like, how can you take 80 trades? Like, how does that work? How do you take 80 trades a day? I'm like, bro. On what time frame? I'm like, yeah, no, like just 5 minutes. Like what? So yeah, it's pretty wild. Yeah, and the crazy thing about what we're seeing right now is that we're actually getting more and more overvalued while price is dropping. So this is actually a major tell sign that we're gonna potentially, come down to take out those lows here. Okay, so we have to really pay attention to this. So any pullback, okay, any pullback might be indeed an earlier resistance setup right there. Because of the fact that we can already see how we're just starting to lose momentum. How much you risk every trade depends on how much you can afford to lose. Thank you for yesterday's trade. Hey, you made me rich, lol. Nice. How much? How much? Tell me. How much? Is the setup still relevant? I mean, I would say so unless we close below here. It just shows that we're losing momentum already earlier. Lord says, bro, been waiting over an hour and price didn't go to the selling zone. Bro, I faded sometimes 4 hours and it never went there. That shit happens. What made me lose more money though was forcing setups though. Getting into positions because I see price reacting, and then guess what happens? Price reverses to my entry, to my initial analysis, and then it plays out. That happens also a lot. So it's always like, every day is different. Yesterday's buy limit was all about patience, and once it tapped, it was a good game. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think that's just the best way to trade for myself, to do it this way. But overall, the daily bias needs to be clear, right? I think this is always the number one. Daily bias needs to be clear. So what is the daily bias and why? Why are we looking to sell today and not buy today, for example? What is the reason behind it, etc.? And then we can think, okay, what's the next step? How much do you risk per trade? I think I risk around $1,000. But sometimes more, depending on the setup. What's the reason for selling? The reason for selling is just because of the fact that we are in higher time frame manipulation or resistance, whatever you want to call it. We can do it one more time if you want. So higher time frame. We took out the previous weekly highs. Yesterday late New York. Previous weekly highs were taken out. And we failed to close above that. That's already very bearish. Because you want to break out of the previous weekly range. You want to close above this. You don't want to close below it after we sweep into it. And then close aggressively below it. And then create some sort of reversal. Like what you see right now. We have support here, but we have that reversal play right now in motion. And usually when you see that, it is not a good look for gold. It's not a good sign for gold, okay? And then you see that gold breaks below the previous weekly range. It can't break above this, and it just gets rejected. And now that we broke structure, we took out the highs. Right here, we broke structure below. And now we're pulling back. Okay, what we wanted to see was a bit of a deeper retracement into the highs, not far away, and then sell off. But we're already getting rejected at the moment. But it doesn't stand the way that our bias is bearish. And that we're going to go to we're trying to target the 4,300. Yeah. And that is the absolute target that we're looking for, the 4,300. I'm going to keep my limit order open for sure now, in case we do still get there. Unless, right, we already will reach the 4,300 and we start to reverse higher. That's a different story. But as long as these lows are not taken out, for example, I will keep my limit order exactly where it needs to be. And that is pretty much the level that we're looking for. Okay. We do have this gap as well. So it could be that we still create a double top and reject again. But even if you do that, then it's maybe worth it to short already earlier and still target the lows. Right, but the goal is to get down. That's it. To trade towards the 4,300. Yeah. In order to be bullish, we need to either do a couple things. We need to either come back down all the way and fill the gap. So we need to come down, right? Tap into this zone or tap into this area, higher time frame, and actually bounce from any of these levels and create a higher low. Something like that. We need to see something like this. Or we need to actually on the 4 hour close above the previous weekly highs and not below. So close above it. Because if we can close above it, then we show that we're actually closing above the previous weekly range. And then we can look for the pullback and we can continue to go higher and trend higher. So either we pull back and we go up, or we go up and we pull back. Until then, I'm now favoring shorts again. I'm favoring shorts. Yeah. We might just have to be super patient, right? And wait for the setup to come to us. and not rush into setups, not rush into trades. Maybe it will come. Limit order will be there. If the lows are not taken out, I will keep my limit order open because I think that at some point we will have to get down there. And if you look at the order flow as well, I want to show you this. These are all the limit orders in the market. Maybe you heard about like the bookmap. Maybe you heard about it. The bookmap, right? And it shows you kind of these like these bars. Maybe you heard about it. Now the exit charts is a different software, but it uses the same methodologies where you could actually see the limit orders, right? And the limit orders right now are all on the right side. You can extend this to the current price as well if you want to, right? So you can do something like that. And you can see that the big orders are all below. You see that? All the large orders are actually sitting below and they're not above, right? You have a couple of smaller orders above here, big orders there, but most of the big liquidity, the big orders are all below there. So if you see these opening lows, for example, that you are see right now here below, we have all these opening lows right here, where the lows are not taken out. And you then look at the order flow. And on the order flow, you see the exact same thing, right? A lot of orders below that level, okay? That signifies that there is a lot of potential rest liquidity sitting right below there. And that means that we could potentially trade towards that. So that's why besides the structure of the week, the 4-hour sweep, the reversal, 4-hour supply, dollar strong, right? Holding that resistance, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of reason for price to get there, to come down there, okay? Now, our goal is, of course, to get the best trade of the day, like yesterday. Yesterday, we had the best trade of the day, for sure, 700-something pips. Best entry, patient, exit, the right moment, right? This will be considered for me the best entry of the day if these lows are still open. If you already push down now, right, then the lows are taken out and then we have to reset and we have to look for a new setup because these lows are taken out. These lows are taken. Okay, so that is kind of the thought process right there to pay attention to right now, because I think that there is a chance that we already might be pushing down. But if you're patient and you want to get the best possible entry, then that is the best possible entry in my opinion, or at least the previous highs again, for a double top reversal, right? Or like a filled breakout reversal, something like that, right? A double top type of play, taking out those lows, starting the 4,300 on gold. And the overvaluation represents that we are more likely to come down than to come up eventually as well. So I think the overall breakdown analysis aligns perfectly. And if we manage to push up, that would be amazing. If we create a higher high or a double top, then we might think, okay, aggressive market, let's try to short it into that level. And if you flip bearish now, yeah, I know, we might be coming down already. Okay. So I'm going to keep you guys updated for that because I have to go have a PT session very soon. But for now, the limit order is there. It is there, the 38. I have it set on MetaTrader 5. I also have it set on futures. So we'll keep it open for now. And if I change something or if I execute, let's say market, then this is exactly why we have created the Telegram group today or yesterday. I created it literally before I went to sleep because I realized I need you guys to be in touch with me, or I need to be in touch with you besides just email, which doesn't make any sense for trades. So I need something quick, snappy that I can reach you out of, right? If I do something off the streams with my buy limits, my sell limits, I change something, I move my sell limit lower from here to there, or whatever the case may be, right? Whatever it is, then I will be able to contact you and keep you guys updated, similar to, you know, yesterday, right? So it's very important that I have a medium where I can do that. So that's why I created the Telegram group for free. You can join it. You can click on it and yeah, watch my daily stream updates. And sometimes I will post some educational content in there as well. Okay, around the volume profile, around whatever we talk about, daily analysis, things like that. Yeah, and it's free of charge, so there are no strings attached. No, nothing. Okay, just for me, easier to contact you after the stream because I realized that sometimes I have to. That's it. Okay, so the link is in the description in case, and we'll keep you guys in the loop for the rest of the session and also the London session. And then we'll see what happens with this setup, if we pull up or if we actually will fill down to get to the 4,300, which also would not be surprising to me if we would get there, right? Because we are, there is just so much liquidity sitting down there and the lows are here and all that liquidity is there. So it's actually the perfect reason to come down and to target that area, right? To take out the lows and to grab those orders below. It's a perfect combination. It's a perfect combination. So hopefully we pull back one more time, and otherwise, yeah, we might see a bit of an aggressive squeeze to the downside. I would not be surprised. Okay. Awesome, guys. Yeah, the link is in the chat or in the description. I'll keep you guys in the loop there. And besides that, I can also give you guys some updates around my my other things, you know, the music, whatever it is, some basic updates. We'll see how it goes, man. It's the first real time that I create a public Telegram like that. So most importantly are the stream trades updates. That's the most important. Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. I have to go to the gym. I have to meet my trainer. And I'm going to see you guys tomorrow again. And keep a close eye on this and keep a close eye on the messaging. And then I'll keep you guys in the loop right there. Okay? And good luck. You now understand the reason why we're bearish and not bullish for today's session. And let's hopefully find the best entries for there. Okay? Thank you. Much love, guys. You guys are the best, and thank you for the 1,000 likes today. That's a record, by the way. 1,000 likes on this channel. During the Asia session, by the way. That's actually ridiculous. So I really appreciate it. Okay? Much love, my friends. I'll see you guys in the Telegram and then tomorrow on the stream again. Okay? Thank you. Much love, and thank you so much. I appreciate it.